So we are learning about the 3 types of transformations that you practiced in our last lesson doing the key lock game. So the very first one that we're going to name is this one right here, and it has a name, and it is called translations. Translations, kind of like a translation of a word, translations. So translations shift or slide a figure either vertically or horizontally. Vertically and horizontally are probably words you've heard before, but maybe not. Vertically means up or down. Horizontally means left or right or side to side. A way that I remember these is when I think about horizontally, I think about like when I look out at the ocean at the horizon line, it looks like a side to side flat line. And vertically, I remember because my best friend growing up was really short, and we used to make fun of her and call her vertically challenged, which was mean, but now I really remember the word vertically. Okay, so there's also a couple more pieces of vocabulary that we're going to use throughout all of our transformation lessons. The first thing is called the pre-image, and the pre-image has the word pre in front of it, so it means the beginning or the figure that you start with. For example, in this first problem right here, the pre-image is this black shape, this black quadrilateral, and it's the pre-image, the first thing. Now the image is without the pre, so it is the figure that you make based on whatever the transformation says to do. And then there's some notation with primes that we're going to use to write this. But let's try one together. Here we go. This says, draw the following translations of the pre-image on the coordinate plane. Write down the new coordinates of the image. Analyze any patterns that you notice. Great. Okay, so translate the pre-image 4 units vertically. Okay, so draw the image on the coordinate plane, label primes, label the image. So this 4 units vertically is probably going to mean that we're going to go up and down. And since 4 is a positive number, it means that we're going to go up. So you're going to take, I'm going to make this a color so we can see. How about red? You're going to go from every single point. We're going to start on a vertex like K. And we're going to count up 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is where my new K is going to be. And I'm going to call it K prime. This little apostrophe thing is called prime. So K prime means this is where the new K ended up when I moved it 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces up. Same deal with P. Start at P, and then we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces up, and this is P prime, and I make a dot there. This has actually been done for you because I'm so nice. Then you're going to go to Q, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces up. This is Q prime, or the new Q after 4 units vertically. The one that you guys have to do is T. So you're going to start at T, and you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 units vertically, make a dot. Awesome. And then you can either label it with typing or you can label it with kind of the bad handwriting that you get when writing with this stuff. Either one is fine. Not a bad K. I'm going to label this. Oh, wait, it isn't K. Darn it. Maybe I should have used the text box. It's T, isn't it? T prime. Okay, now I'm going to use my line tool to connect the last side lengths together, and I'll make it red so that it matches. Good. Draw another line. And you'll notice that the figures, when you've made it, should look congruent. So the pre-image should be congruent to the image. And now, because I've asked you to, I'm going to label that this is called the image. Oh, that's in caps. That seems a bit aggressive. This is the image right here. I'm going to move it on. Great. So let's look and see how the coordinates have changed. Okay, here are the original coordinates that I wrote for you of K, P, T, and Q. What are the new coordinates of K prime? By the way, you have to do parentheses here. So K prime is going to be -1 up 1, 2, 3. So -1, 3. Boom. Next. Here we go. Now we are at P. P is going to be 0, 3. Now we are at T. T is going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So we're going to do 3, 2. And finally, Q is now just at 0, 0. Okay. It says, What stays the same after the translation, the x values or the y values? Highlight in the table and explain. Well, looking for stuff that stays the same. Okay, I see -1 and -1. So it seems like these points have stayed the same. 0 and 0, 3 and 3, 0 and 0. So I would say that therefore my x values stayed the same. And let's see, what changes? Well, I'm going to guess my y values. The y values have changed, but how much have they changed by? From -1 to 3, I can add that, so that's +4. -1 to 3 is +4. -2 plus 4 is 2. -4 plus 4 is 0. So y value, add 4 every time. Okay, and then for this last thing, I'm going to check out my ordered pair rule. It says, and this is kind of confusing, but see if we can figure it out. X, Y, and we read this symbol as goes to. X, Y goes to X, and then Y plus 4. Why would that make sense, I wonder? So be thinking about that as you look at it. You don't have to get it yet, but maybe you already see a pattern of what's happening here with the X's and the Y values. So in this video, we've just looked at translations and pre-images and images. We've looked at how we label our vertices and then label them as primes. And then finally, we've talked about horizontally and vertically and how translations shift things. So I'm going to stop and check. Did I draw the translation on the graph? Yes. Did I label all primes, meaning I have these apostrophes on my letters? Yes. And did I label the image? Yes. Boom, go me, more points for me. Okay, so this is what you're gonna do first on this example, guys, and then you're gonna do it on 2 more examples below. Best of luck.